I'm Amy Zawi with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for Wednesday, May 13. How about some good news? This week, I'm going to report on some progress and good news that we can rejoice and be thankful for. In addition, good news should be part of our prayers and supplications to the Lord because our requests that are brought to Him should be done in worship and thankfulness. Here are some points to add to your thankful lists. In Germany, on April 30th, they outlawed Hezbollah within their borders, designating it as a terror organization. Thank you. And finally, David Israel of the Jewish Press reported on April 30th this good news along with some other outlets. German Interior Host Minister Horst Seehofer on that Thursday the 30th announced he was banning all Hezbollah activities in that country and classifying the group as a terrorist organization. Ministry spokesman Steve Adler tweeted at the same time, Seehofer today banned the operation of Shiite terrorist organization Hezbollah, Party of God in Germany. Police measures have been taking place in several federal states at the same time since the early hours of the morning. The rule of law can now be used in a time of crisis. Well, this is a great thing to be thankful for. The New York Daily News published an article in early May by Asaf, Romirowsky, and Benjamin Weinthal. Romirowsky and Weinthal opined on some progress made within the New York universities, giving a bit of pushback to anti-Semitism and BDS, Boycott, Divest and Sanction, activities going on their campuses. NYU, Columbia, and Fordham all had leadership push back against Students for Justice in Palestine and their BDS initiatives on their campuses. A 2019 graduate of New York University named Lean Dweek served as president of the NYU chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine and was the main force on campus behind the BDS Boycott, Divest and Sanction campaign activities that went on to target the Jewish state on campus. Dweek reacted to the news of Aria Evan, the first Israeli death from COVID-19, by posting on her Twitter, "Anyway, should I paint my fingernails red or green today?" Born in Budapest, Aria Evan survived the war in Hungary before emigrating to Israel by himself as a teenager in 1949. He went on to have 4 children and 18 grandchildren, and then became the first Israeli to succumb to the COVID-19 disease. That reaction on Twitter was terrible, but what was even more surprising was that NYU then condemned Dweek's brand of activism. With almost 500,000 alumni, wrote New York University spokesman Beckman, NYU does not routinely respond to its graduate social media posts. But the reported Twitter post by a former NYU student about the first Israeli death from COVID was shameful and callous. Another effort at Fordham University was on the way. In 2017, Keith Eldridge, Dean of Students at the Jesuit University Lincoln Center campus, opposed a request from student government to recognize SJP on campus. Eldridge said while students are encouraged to promote diverse political points of view and encourage the conversation and debate on all topics, I cannot support an organization whose sole purpose is advocating political goals of a specific group against a specific country. Unfortunately, a New York court overruled this ban just last year. But at least it was an attempt. At Columbia University, where I have reported many adversities felt by Jewish students, anyone who supports Israel's existence seems to be nailed there. And they've hosted various guest speakers who are very anti-Semitic. President Lee Bollinger rightly opposed an upcoming undergraduate student BDS referendum recommending Columbia divest from 8 companies that are currently doing business with Israel and profit from their work in the so-called disputed West Bank territory. Bollinger appears to have internalized the growing danger presented by the link between anti-Semitism and the BDS campaign in his school. In his statement, he places BDS in the context of the widespread Jew hatred. When a swastika appears on campus, it's not just an isolated event, he said. And when it's rising anti-Semitism in this country and around, even a single instance of it in any context is more alarming than we otherwise may know. Anti-Semitism continues to proliferate in academia. BDS activism has generally subsided during the pandemic, but it's too early to declare victory just yet at NYU, Columbia, where BDS and other expressions of contemporary anti-Semitism have gained traction for years. Zachary Kaiser reported in the Jerusalem Post on April 30 that Senator Ted Cruz noted that Israel's enemies are America's enemies. And to strengthen our partnership between the United States and Israel, Cruz introduced new legislation that will appropriate $12 million for investments in joint medical research with Israel. And what better anti-BDS event to celebrate than SavingLivesSunday.com? You can watch this charity event hosted by American celebrity Jay Leno to raise money for fighting the coronavirus in Israel. Christians, Jews, Muslims, Arabs, they all came together in this streaming virtual fundraiser that you can access through YouTube or on SavingIsraelSunday.com. It's free to access, and it is available for you to watch today, even though the event happened on Sunday, May 3rd. Using humor, motorcycle motifs, and touching testimonies, Jay Leno and numerous other international celebrities teamed up for this Saving Lives Sunday event. It was honoring first responders and supporting United Hezbollah Coronavirus Emergency Response Fund. It is a volunteer-based organization. In this event, a virtual telethon was held to help the United Hezbollah in its fight against the coronavirus, and it raised money while a lot of singers and artists were brought together to entertain and share their stories. The organization also highlighted the organization's founder, who himself suffered from coronavirus. Featuring tributes to Eli Beer, the founder, and his entire organization, which is, like I said, all voluntary based, has been the first responders for helping the Jewish people and all inhabitants in Israel, and his organization has been around for several years. He had contracted coronavirus, and upon the release from the hospital just a few weeks ago, everybody was rejoicing for Eli's return to the community, and his work will go on. We all know we need to be thankful for all the various progresses that we have just heard about, whether it is legislation, progress on college campuses, or just artists and comedians and community members coming together to rejoice for the different activities that Jews do around the world and in Israel itself, and the contributions that are made to society. And that's how we fight BDS and anti-Semitism, by keeping our effort to bring the truth to the world. Shavua Tov, and have a great week.